After I'm reborn, I have my driver pick me up from school in the most expensive car right away. All because that two-faced Tyler, just to win over my childhood sweetheart, hinted to our classmates that I'm the only scholarship student in the whole school, and pretended he's the one from the elite family. So, when he comes to find me again after school and says if no one picks me up I can ride home in his family's luxury car, a limited edition Rolls-Royce pulls up right at the school gate. As everyone gasps in awe, the driver steps out of the car, walks up to me, and says respectfully, "Young master, your father sent me to pick you up and bring you home." Got it. This car is mine. The other boys all freeze. How can Lucas be? Lucas? Who exactly is Lucas? How could his family own a car like that? Tyler, you're close with Lucas. Do you know what's going on with his family? Right now, Tyler feels like half his face is burning with humiliation, as if someone just slapped him hard. Invisibly. A limited edition Rolls-Royce. How much would that even cost? Tyler clenches his fists in silence. By now I've already gotten into the car. Through the rearview mirror I catch a glimpse of Tyler's expression. But after that car is the opening act, this one barely counts as a show. The driver, noticing I'm acting differently than usual, can't help but ask, "Young master, didn't you used to hate showing off?" I regret that now. Starting today, I want a car to pick me up and drop me off every day. The flashier the better. Ideally a different car every single day. Hearing my request, the driver looks surprised. "Young master, you should have done this ages ago. I really am the precious treasure of the GU family. The whole household has spoiled me since I was little. Afraid I'd break, afraid I'd melt." I glance at Lee. "Is there a dinner tonight?" "Yes, it's about your engagement with Miss Yasmin." "Good." I remember clearly that in my past life at that very dinner, my parents wanted to call off the engagement, but Yasmin's mother was absolutely set on marrying her into my family. Yasmin was completely unwilling, but she couldn't go against her mother's wishes, because the Ye family was already on the verge of ruin. Without the Gu family's help, the Yi family would go bankrupt within 6 months. In my past life, I was soft-hearted. I couldn't bear to watch the family of the girl I secretly loved fall apart, so I agreed right away to marry Yasmin after graduation. But this time around, I won't be that foolish again. Soon, the car stops in front of the Four Seasons restaurant. I get out and immediately spot Yasmin, who has just arrived. Outside the restaurant, Yasmin deliberately waits for me. Once I walk over, she says coldly, "Lucas, I'm warning you. I don't like you, and I will never marry you." Same here. The moment I say that, Yasmin's brows furrow. She always knew about my little crush on her before. Even a fool could see I liked her. I never said it out loud, and she never bothered to call it out either, since she had zero interest in me anyway. But now I'm the one saying I don't like her, that I don't want to marry her. Yasmin lets out a cold scoff, assuming it's just my pride acting up after being rejected. Inside the private dining room, my parents are already seated, and because Yasmin's father passed away early, the Yi family is represented by only her mother. The moment Yasmin and I step into the room, Mrs. Yi rushes over and grabs my hand affectionately. "Lucas, look at you. It's only been a few days and you've already gotten thinner and even more handsome." I remember all too well how calculating Mrs. Yi is. Back when I was set to marry Yasmin, Mrs. Yi had already been scheming for my fortune. Long before our wedding, she'd already been plotting how to claim our marital assets. Later on, she lived out her later years on the money I brought into the Yi family, and even showed up dressed to the nines at Yasmin and Tyler's wedding. Looking at her opportunistic smile now, I pull my hand back. "Aunt Yi, I've actually gained 10 pounds since last time. Let's just get straight to business today." Seeing how cold I am, Mrs. Yi looks a bit awkward. Beside her, Yasmin looks displeased. "Lucas, how dare you talk to my mom like that? I'm just being honest." "Yasmin, why are you so worked up?" Facing my smooth comeback, Yasmin scoffs coldly. "Lucas, drop the spoiled rich kid attitude. I know you look down on the Yi family like we're the ones reaching above our station. If you don't want to marry her, just say so directly." Mrs. Yi angrily slaps Yasmin's arm. "Yasmin, what's gotten into you talking such nonsense? Their family situation has nothing to do with... Without the Gu family, how could just the two of us possibly revive the Yi family?" Yasmin doesn't hide her displeasure at all. "Mom, don't stop me, I'm just speaking the truth." Sure enough, both my parents' expressions change at once. If you could say they were still keeping up basic social courtesy a moment ago, now they can't even force a smile. "So this is how Yasmin has always seen our son. It seems your daughter doesn't want to marry my son either. I think this engagement should just be called off." "Mr. Gu, Yasmin is just being immature, please don't be upset. I'll have her properly apologize to Lucas. Besides, hasn't Lucas always liked Yasmin? These two must just be having a little spat. Lucas, don't you think so?" Mrs. Yi looks at me anxiously, while I simply say flatly, "Aunt Yi, you've got it wrong. Yasmin and I have always just been childhood friends. Earlier, at the entrance, Yasmin already told me herself. She said she doesn't like me and would never marry me. I feel exactly the same way. So today I came to make it clear that I want to call off the engagement with Yasmin." Hearing this, Mrs. Yi is stunned, and Yasmin freezes completely. After all, I used to like her secretly, always trying every way to talk to her. She knew all of that. So how could I suddenly agree to call off the engagement? My parents are equally stunned. I've always been stubborn. They kept trying to talk me out of marrying into the Yi family, but I just wouldn't listen. Why have I suddenly changed my mind today? "Aunt Yi, we won't be staying for dinner. Let's keep our distance from now on between our families." With that, I stand up and walk over to my parents. "Mom, Dad, let's go." Seeing my parents seated right across from me, my eyes start to well up. In my past life, it was my stubbornness that got the GU family targeted by Yasmin's revenge later on. Plainly put, Yasmin turned out to be an ungrateful traitor. In my past life, my parents helped the Yi family so much, yet once the Yi family rose to dominance and Yasmin gained power and status, the very first one she crushed was the GU group. Because Yasmin has such fierce pride and a narrow heart, she always felt that my parents arranging for me to marry her was an insult to the Yi family, and even more so, an act of charity toward her personally. So once she gained power, she couldn't wait to wipe out the Gu family to erase her so-called humiliation. A woman like that doesn't deserve our family's help at all. Back home for dinner, I make up my mind to lose weight. My mother doesn't say much, she just quietly carries in a plate. Looking at the boiled greens and shrimp set in front of me, I'm caught off guard. My mother says gently, "No matter how much you're dieting, you still need to eat. I'll have the housekeeper put together a proper diet plan for you from now on." My eyes well up without me even meaning to. Having both my parents here, it really is good. After going through all this, I finally understand how precious family really is. In my past life, I was so insecure about being overweight that I completely ignored the warmth my parents gave me, and instead I put all my emotional hopes into someone else. Thanks, Mom. I lower my head and dig into the greens. I make up my mind. In 3 months, I will definitely slim down. The next day, I'm so hungry I'm practically dizzy. When I step on the scale, I find I've already dropped 5 pounds. As happy as I am, I know it's probably just water weight. Losing weight is a long game, and I can't afford to let my guard down. At school, with a luxury car picking me up and dropping me off every day, other students burn with envy. I sit down at my desk and Tyler hands me a box of chocolates. When I was younger, I was insecure, but honestly, I wasn't even that overweight. Yet somehow I started gaining weight inexplicably. At the time, I assumed it was just stress, but later I realized something was off, because the timing of my weight gain matched exactly when I met Tyler. On top of luring me with food, he must have used some kind of drug to make me put on weight. No need to be polite, I know how hard you've been working to lose weight, so just one little piece won't hurt. As he says this, he shoves the chocolate right into my hand, but I suddenly cry out, and the whole box of chocolates drops and scatters on the floor, causing quite a commotion in the classroom. After a quick word with the English teacher, who's mid-lesson, she confiscates the chocolates. Watching the imported chocolates get taken away by the teacher, Tyler's expression turns sour. Losing the chocolates is a minor thing, but that chocolate had something tampered into it. Deep down, I watch Tyler's scheme fail, then sit back down calmly. The English teacher has always loved free perks, so a box of chocolates this expensive will probably end up in her own stomach once confiscated. I'm curious how Tyler is going to handle this. In a blink, it's break time. After class, Tyler hurries off to the office to confess to the English teacher. There's no getting those chocolates back. Right as he steps out of the office, he runs straight into Yasmin. Seeing how dejected and lost he looks, she asks, "Tyler, what were you doing in the office?" Tyler explains the situation. Hearing him mention me, Yasmin grows a little impatient. "You should keep your distance from Lucas from now on. Did you forget about what happened at the pool last time? Don't you remember telling me afterward that it was Lucas who pulled you into the water? He's never had good intentions from the start. There's no reason for you to be friends with someone like that." Seeing Yasmin defend him, Tyler feels a quiet rush of joy. Thinking about how I've been picked up by luxury cars these past few days, Tyler can't help but ask, "Fine, but is Lucas's family actually that wealthy? I've noticed he's been switching up cars every day to get to and from school. They must be quite rich. Are you two childhood friends? I have no relationship with him whatsoever. Whether his family has money has nothing to do with me." Tyler picks up on the irritation in Yasmin's tone and quickly says, "Sorry, I was just asking out of curiosity." Seeing his flustered expression, Yasmin realizes her tone was a bit too harsh just now. She softens. Okay, I know you're worried I might like him, but don't worry, the person I like is you." Behind Yasmin, I've just come up the stairs from downstairs and walk right into a moment that's about to blow up. Tyler hastily pushes Yasmin away. "Lucas, don't get the wrong idea, it's just that," Yasmin, hearing that I've arrived, leans straight into Tyler's arms instead. "There's nothing to misunderstand. We like each other." She's desperate to see pain and regret flash across my eyes. After all, I used to secretly like her for so long, trailing after her like a little shadow, even pushing myself to lose weight for her sake. She wants me to know that. Refusing to marry her will be the biggest regret of my life. Just as Yasmin waits to watch me crumble with regret, I instead point at the two of them, expressionless, toward the discipline director, who happens to be doing rounds upstairs. "Sir, Yasmin and Tyler are dating in secret." Seeing the director approaching, Tyler practically shoves Yasmin away in an instant. As the director catches sight of these two model students locked in an embrace, his expression turns serious immediately. "You two, come to my office with me." Yasmin and Tyler are taken away by the director. As she's pulled away, Yasmin shoots me a venomous glare. I'm completely unbothered by her childish little stunt. At this point, Yasmin can't even cause me the slightest harm. After class, Tyler trudges back into the classroom, looking utterly defeated. The other students crowd around him asking what happened, but Tyler just glares at me bitterly. Meanwhile, in the classroom, Yasmin storms in furiously. Yasmin bursts in seething with anger, grabs my arm and yanks. "Come with me!" She drags me out by force. As I'm thinking about how to embarrass her for a second time, a pale, slender arm suddenly cuts across my view, pinning down Yasmin's hand. Let go. The voice sounds so familiar, almost like something I heard when I was reborn. I see that it's Celine. Are you trying to stand up for Lucas too? Yasmin tries to shake off Celine's grip, but Celine just stands there, perfectly still, barely exerting any effort. Yet Yasmin can't break free at all. Realizing she can't even shake off Celine, Yasmin's expression darkens. Out of the corner of her eye, she spots Tyler sitting nearby, watching. There's no way she can stand looking this pathetic in front of the man she likes. She lunges towards Celine's desk. I immediately shout toward the hallway. Teacher, Yasmin's hitting people. Lucas, shut your mouth. Yasmin's expression turns ugly, but it's already too late. The homeroom teacher hears the commotion and comes over, just in time to see Celine clutching her stomach, pale-faced, while Yasmin still points furiously in my face. The teacher has had enough. Yasmin, how many times a day do you need to make a scene before it's enough? Have your parents come in after school today? Quickly, Yasmin is led away by the teacher. I turn to look at the pale-faced Celine. I'll take you to the infirmary. Without waiting for her to agree, I scoop her up. Celine freezes, staring at my profile, a little dazed, her gaze lingering on my profile a little too long. This quickly causes a stir among nearby students. At all the noise, Celine furrows her brow, her eyes turning cold enough to send a chill through the whole class, and no one dares to make another sound. Celine doesn't want me carrying her anymore, so she grabs my wrist instead and walks toward the door. Staring at her hand wrapped around my wrist, I freeze for a moment. I can clearly see her ears have flushed slightly red. Thinking back to when I was reborn, how someone seemed to have pulled me out of the water and given me CPR, I find myself blurting out, Celine, was it you who gave me CPR that day at the swimming pool? The second it's out, I startle myself and Celine yanks her hand back from mine as if shocked. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I never said you did. I just wanted to thank you. Celine doesn't say a word and just keeps walking toward the infirmary. Inside the infirmary, the doctor glances at Celine's wound. It's nothing serious. Just apply some medicated oil and you'll be fine. One bottle is 81. Just pay at the front. Hearing this, Celine presses her lips together. No need. She turns and walks straight out of the infirmary. I quickly follow after her. Celine! She shows no sign of waiting for me. As I rush after her, my foot slips and I'm about to fall. Celine suddenly reaches out and steadies my arm. Did you hurt yourself anywhere? I shake my head, then pull a bottle of medicated oil out of my pocket, pressing it into Celine's hand. Your wound doesn't look too bad, but I've been using this a lot lately. You could give it a try. Not bad. I've been using this a lot lately. You could give it a try. Staring at the bottle of oil in her hand, Celine falls silent for a moment. I know full well that Celine is an illegitimate daughter, constantly bullied by Mrs. Yi and Yasmin within the Yi family. With the Yi family in trouble now, there's no way Mrs. Yi would give Celine any money. Celine pushes the bottle back toward me. Thanks, but I don't need it. Taking her pride into account, I add, this medicated oil isn't free. There's payment involved. At the word payment, Celine stops in her tracks. I know money's been tight for you at the Yi house, and you just saved me too. I'd like to make a deal with you. What kind of deal? You know I'm trying to lose weight. Help me with that, and I'll pay you $500 a month. How does that sound? Hearing this, Celine frowns. I'm not that expensive. Of course, I'll only pay if it actually works. I dig into my pocket and pull out a few red bills, placing them along with the medicated oil into Celine's hand. This is your pay for the week, plus my thanks for what you did. Wait for me every day during lunch break and afternoon exercise period. Without waiting for her answer, the class bell rings. I pull Celine along toward the classroom building. Hurry, class is starting. By the time I get back to class A, I find the teacher hasn't arrived yet, and at some point my desk and chair have been knocked over, with my books and everything from my bag scattered all over the floor. Seeing this, my eyes darken, while the whole class watches in silence. Who did this? The moment I say it, not a single person speaks up. Kevin chimes in arrogantly. Who knows? Kevin says with a smug attitude. Who knows? Maybe the wind blew it over. Although snitches deserve to be punished. Watching Kevin's expression, I know right away it has to be him since he's always been tight with Tyler. I let out a cold laugh, then walk straight over and flip Kevin's desk over with full force. Kevin jumps out of his chair in shock. Lucas, have you lost your mind? Finally, I kick down Kevin's chair too, and the classroom fills with the sound of Kevin's yelp. I glare at him. Shut your mouth. I'm warning all of you, if you don't want your parents called in, don't touch anything in my desk. I, Lucas, am not someone you can mess with. Tyler stands up, striking a self-righteous pose. Lucas, you've gone too far. We're all classmates here. How can you bully someone like this? You shut up. You messed up by sneaking around in a secret relationship, and now you put on this pitiful act and let your friend fight your battles for you. If I report today's incident to the teacher, you'll get a demerit on your record because of him, and that's exactly how you treat your so-called friends. Tyler's expression instantly turns ugly. My moral guilt trip pins him right to the wall. Seeing Tyler unable to respond, Kevin steps in front of him again. Defending Lucas? Stop talking nonsense. We just didn't like the look of you. It has nothing to do with Tyler. Oh? So you're admitting you knocked over my desk? If you can knock over my desk today, who's to say you won't physically hurt me tomorrow? I think I'll not only call the teacher but report this to the police too. At the word police, Kevin's face turns pale instantly. Seeing me about to walk out, he rushes forward and grabs my arm. Lucas, stop right there. Right then, the Chinese teacher walks in through the door just in time to see Kevin yanking on me. I deliberately go limp, and his pull sends me crashing right onto the overturned desk. Seeing me fall, the teacher rushes over to help me up. Lucas, are you alright? I shake my head, pale-faced. Teacher, I'm fine. What exactly happened? Why is the classroom such a mess? Kevin and his group stand off to the side, completely rigid, not daring to say a word, watching me nervously, waiting for my answer. I glance at Kevin and the others, knowing I've already gotten what I wanted. We just had a little misunderstanding during break, but it's already settled, right, Kevin? Hearing that I haven't actually exposed them, Kevin and the others look stunned. The teacher clearly doesn't believe me, but helps me up anyway. Good. If it's a small misunderstanding and it's settled, that's fine. But don't let me find out that someone's doing this on purpose. As she says this, the teacher actually glances toward Tyler. News of Tyler and Yasmin's secret relationship has already spread through the staff office. That glance from the teacher leaves a bitter taste in Tyler's mouth. After class, Tyler comes to find me as I'm heading out to run. He guiltily puts an arm around my shoulder. Lucas, when Kevin and the others were bullying you, I tried to stop them but couldn't. I'm sorry. Are you hurt? I look at him coldly. What does that have to do with you? With that, I turn to leave. Tyler hurries up to me, looking flustered. Lucas, I've already admitted I was wrong, so please forgive me. He rushes up to me, flustered. Lucas, I've already admitted I was wrong, so please forgive me. We're supposed to be best friends. I know you're upset because Yasmin confessed her feelings to me, so that's why you reported us to the teacher. But matters of the heart can't be forced. Tyler deliberately raises his voice so everyone in the hallway can hear. Watching the onlookers around us eat up the drama, I can't help but laugh. Oh, you mean Yasmin? I already gave her up, so if you want her, she's all yours. With that, I brush past Tyler and walk off. He freezes for a second. What does it mean, gave her up? Just then, Yasmin walks out of the office with a dark expression. The homeroom teacher made her stand outside for an entire class period, and even docked her academic credit. Lucas! Yasmin's low, angry voice makes me stop in my tracks. I watch as she grabs Tyler's arm. I glance back at Tyler, an inward cold laugh forming. In my past life, Yasmin loved Tyler deeply for years, but only because she never got him when she was young. They say the things you fail to attain in youth haunt you for the rest of your life, but if you actually get them young, it's never as perfect as you imagined, especially with the Yi family about to go bankrupt, and Tyler being nothing more than a driver's son. The challenges these two will face down the road go far beyond just Tyler's lies, and their ending is easy enough to predict. I pay it no mind, and turn to leave. In the afternoon, after the last class ends, I head to the entrance of Class F to wait for Celine, and on the way, I happen to see Mrs. Yi storming furiously into the school. A crowd has already gathered outside the office, and even from the entrance of Class F, I can still see Mrs. Yi storming through. With quite a crowd gathered outside the office, even from the doorway of Class F, I can hear the sharp crack of a slap echoing from inside the office, followed by Mrs. Yi's piercing voice in front of everyone. Yasmin, you have no shame, but I still have mine. Who gave you permission to date in secret? Yasmin is currently Mrs. Yi's only remaining hope. If this secret relationship ends up affecting her grades, the Yi family will truly be finished. Especially right now, at this critical moment, who besides the Ju family could possibly help the Yi family? Just then Celine's clear, gentle voice reaches my ears. Lucas. I turn around and see Celine standing right in front of me. Let's go, we're heading to the swimming pool. Given your current build, jogging won't be that effective for weight loss, and it could damage your knees too. Swimming suits you better. Then come to my place instead, we have a pool at home. Catching her off guard with the sudden invitation, Celine pauses for a moment. Don't worry, I'll cover the transportation. I press 50 yuan into Celine's hand. She looks at the bill in her hand without a word, then pushes it right back to me. I already got paid this week, and if I agreed to help you lose weight, I won't charge you anything extra. Seeing this, I don't push the matter. The two of us walk one after the other to the school gate, where a luxury car appears right before us. The driver promptly opens the door for Celine. She gets in a bit stiffly, and I follow right behind. Noticing her uneasy expression, I say with a smile, "Don't be nervous, my parents are very kind. They just dislike Yasmin, that's all." Celine doesn't respond. I say with a smile again, "Don't be nervous, my parents are very kind. They only dislike Yasmin." Celine stays silent. Soon, the car pulls up to the GU family mansion. Celine and I have just stepped through the door when the smell of dinner inside drifts out through the hallway. I suggest, "Let's eat first so we'll have energy for exercising." "No need." My mother's voice cuts off the refusal Celine had been quietly building up. "Lucas, hurry and change your shoes, dinner's ready." By the time my mother reaches the entryway, she finally notices Celine standing beside me. My father comes down from upstairs too, and seeing Celine arrive home with me, he looks puzzled. Doesn't our son dislike everyone from the Yi family? How is he getting so close with Celine? "Mom, Dad, Celine's here to help me lose weight. From now on, please set out an extra set of bowls and chopsticks every evening." I say it casually, leaving no room for Celine to refuse. My parents exchange a glance. Though they don't like the Yi family, the two of them still politely invite Celine to change her shoes and come in for dinner. In the living room, the table is set with 6 dishes and a soup, though all I can eat for my diet is some shrimp and broccoli. My mother looks at Celine's thin frame and, feeling sympathetic, scoops her an extra large helping of rice. "Eat slowly, there's more if you need it." "Thank you, Aunt Gu." Celine finishes every last bite on her plate, and afterward gets up wordlessly to wash the dishes. Seeing this, I immediately set down my chopsticks and call out to Mrs. Wu in the kitchen. "Mrs. Wu, dishes please." Mrs. Wu steps forward and takes the bowls and chopsticks right out of Celine's hands. Miss Celine, just leave it to me. Whatever Celine was about to say goes unsaid. I pull her along toward the backyard pool. Looking at the water, just as large as the school swimming pool, Celine can't help but look a little stunned. By now I've changed into my swimsuit and come back out. Celine hands me a detailed weight loss plan. Here, this is for you. During our break period, she had already worked out a thorough plan tailored to my body type. I'm a little surprised. You finished this already? I look over the incredibly detailed chart in my hands, which even lays out exactly what I should eat each day, how much water to drink, and how much exercise to do. Celine speaks earnestly. Weight loss can't be achieved by starving yourself. You ate way too little tonight. Normally you should eat more cucumber and cherry tomatoes. Things like winter melon and corn are all fine too, but you shouldn't eat the full every day. Make sure to go to bed each night slightly hungry. I nod, not fully understanding, while she watches my confused expression. Celine pauses for a moment, then continues. I'll supervise you every day, so you don't need to understand every detail. I nod at that. Meanwhile, both my parents peek out from a distance, watching Celine supervise me swimming from the poolside, with the two of them barely exchanging a word the whole time. My mother is puzzled. What's going on? Is this really just for exercise? My father can't quite figure it out either. Could it be our Lucas has had a change of heart, doesn't like Yasmin anymore, and is now into Celine? The two of them bounce back and forth, eventually catching mine and Celine's attention. I poke my head up out of the pool. Mom, Dad, what are you two doing? Hearing my voice, my father and mother quickly emerge from their hiding spot in the corner. Your mom and I prepared a little food for you both, along with some fruit, so you can have a bite once you're tired from swimming. Yes, and if you find swimming on its own a bit boring, you could also head to the second floor gym. There's plenty of equipment in there. My father and mother both grin awkwardly, and I can tell right away they're reading way too much into this. I climb out of the pool and take the fruit from my mother's hands. Thanks, Mom, you two should head back inside now. Stop watching us. I shoo my parents away. After that, I glance towards Celine. Let's keep going. I deliberately act casual and continue swimming, though inside I'm actually a little embarrassed. A moment later, when I poke my head out of the water, I find myself looking straight into Celine's deep, intense eyes. I let out an awkward little laugh. Let's eat some fruit. Then I duck my head back under the water. Celine says nothing, just her ears flushing slightly red. For 7 days straight, Celine and I walk home together after school, though hardly anyone notices since all the attention from our classmates is fixed on Yasmin and Tyler. That day, after Yasmin's parent meeting, she falls out badly with her family over Tyler, even threatening to give up her inheritance from the Yi family, and it nearly lands Mrs. Yi in the hospital from the stress. Even the teachers seem unable to do anything about Yasmin and Tyler. On this particular day, right as I arrive at school, a student suddenly rushes in, shouting in a panic, "Something's wrong! Something happened!" The moment I hear this, my first thought goes straight to the English teacher. 7 days have already passed, so the effects should be showing by now. Clearly, the other students have no idea what's going on either. But eager to see the drama, everyone rushes straight toward the teaching building, toward the office, where the English teacher's sharp voice cries out, "Teacher Wang, you owe me an explanation today." The homeroom teacher is also at a loss, having no idea what's actually happened, and can only send a student to fetch Tyler. The moment Tyler is called into the office, the English teacher's sharp gaze immediately locks onto him. "Tyler, get over here." She drags him in front of the homeroom teacher and demands, "What exactly did you put in those chocolates?" The English teacher used to be slim, but in the span of just 1 week, her figure has visibly changed for the worse. Tyler's face goes ghostly pale. "I don't know, I didn't." Watching how scared he looks, the homeroom teacher immediately jumps to his defense. "Ms. Liu, if you've put on weight from eating, why blame my student? Are you suggesting he secretly drugged you? I've been dieting these past few days. All I've had besides that box of chocolates is tea, so how could I possibly gain 15 pounds in a single week? I already took the chocolates to be tested, and the results show that hormones were artificially added inside." "Tyler, you really outdid yourself." The students outside the door gasp in shock. How could that be? Adding hormones is way too horrifying. Tyler is so kind-hearted, how could he possibly drug the English teacher? It's the first time the students have heard such explosive gossip, and even the homeroom teacher's expression darkens. Reading the conclusion written right there on the test report, she grabs Tyler by the arm. "Tyler, is this true? Did you do this?" Tyler's face turns ashen, never imagining that 1 box of chocolates would spiral into something this serious, that it would actually blow up this badly. "No, it wasn't me, I didn't." "You're still trying to wriggle out of this? At your age, you already know how to drug someone and hurt them. What's it going to be like when you're older? Call your parents right now and tell them to come in. This matter needs a proper explanation." The English teacher drags Tyler toward the phone. Just at that moment, Yasmin steps forward. "I'm the one who put the drug in the chocolates. It has nothing to do with Tyler." Anyone watching can see exactly what Yasmin is doing, taking the fall for Tyler. She steps forward and pulls him aside protectively. "I'm the one who put in the drug, so if you want to call a parent, call mine." That same afternoon, Yasmin's parent is called in. When Mrs. Yi learns her daughter is paying for Tyler's mistake, her opinion of him drops even further. But the matter doesn't end there. The English teacher insists on calling the police and demands disciplinary action against Yasmin. After repeated, desperate pleading from Mrs. Yi, she ends up paying 200,000 yuan in compensation, and Yasmin still gets a major demerit on her record. My mood is excellent that day, And even my workout has extra energy behind it. Because in just over 10 days since being reborn, I've already lost 20 pounds. Though I know losing weight will only get harder from here on, I've at least gotten off to a strong start. With finals approaching, every student in Class A is studying hard, grinding through practice problems every day without fail, along with memorizing notes. Inside the library, I'm buried in my studies when the chair across from me suddenly gets kicked. I frown, and when I look up, sure enough, it's Yasmin. I let out a sigh of irritation. What do you want? It was you who pulled that chocolate stunt, wasn't it? What makes you so sure it was me? Besides Tyler, you're the only other person who touched that chocolate and you're still claiming it wasn't you. Then why aren't you suspecting Tyler instead of me? Yasmin's face fills with disdain. Tyler is kind-hearted, so this has to have been you, deliberately. I never realized before just how vicious you actually are. I close my book with an air of complete indifference. If you actually had a brain, you'd go investigate this yourself. If you find solid evidence that confirms it was me, feel free to report me. But if you have no proof, don't bother playing protector here in front of me, it's just plain foolish. My words hit a nerve and Yasmin slams the table and stands up, ready to strike me. In the very next second, her arm gets pinned down. This is a library, not somewhere you can just run wild. Who do you think you are? Get off! Yasmin tries to wrench free of Celine, trying several times without managing to shake her off. It's a librarian's job to maintain order in here. Do you need me to sound the alarm? Yasmin glances at Celine, then at me. What, so you two are actually together now? Lucas, you used to chase after me shamelessly, and now you turn around and end up with Celine? The moment the words leave her mouth, afraid things will escalate, I immediately stand up. Celine, don't. Afraid things will escalate, I quickly stand and add, Celine, don't do anything. After hearing me speak, Celine regains her composure, staring down coldly at Yasmin on the floor. Watch your mouth. If this happens again, I won't hold back. Yasmin never expected Celine would actually dare to fight back against her, and rage instantly flares up inside her. Just as she's about to come at her again, I step in front of Celine. Yasmin, you're the one who threw insults first, so if you got hit, that's on you. If you strike again, you'll be the one in the wrong. Do you really want another demerit? So what if I get another demerit, like I even care anymore? Don't forget, one more demerit and you'll be expelled from school. If you leave, what happens to Tyler? At the mention of Tyler's name, Yasmin's raised hand instantly stops mid-motion. I know I found her weak spot, so I pull Celine's arm. Come on, help me find another place to study. This time, Yasmin doesn't push forward. Seeing her walk away, I finally pick a random spot and sit down. Ugh, what bad luck. I should get back to work. Celine's tone is flat and distant, and for some reason I sense she's a little upset. I step closer to comfort her. What Yasmin said earlier was just nonsense. Her own mind is twisted, don't take it to heart. I'm used to it. You're a librarian? Mm-hmm. Why have I never heard you mention that before? You never asked. Celine returns to shelving books and I follow along behind her. Your grades are so good you should really be in Class A. So why were you in that fight before? I forgot. Celine clearly doesn't want to talk more about it, so I laugh it off awkwardly beside her, hoping to keep things from getting too tense between us. Watching her work hard at organizing the books, I think about how difficult her life must be at the Yi household, and after a moment of thought, I speak up. Celine, I know you're a great student. Could you help me out? I really need someone to tutor me. Could you possibly help me with my schoolwork every evening from now on? I'll pay you separately, 100 per session. How does that sound? Celine looks up at me. Your exam scores are always in the top 10% of the grade. You don't need tutoring. I've been slacking off lately. My practice scores have been a complete mess. I doubt I'd even crack the top 100 right now, let alone the top 10%. Don't worry, once I get through this final exam, I'll pay you 1,000 yuan, so please help me out. Seeing that I don't seem to be lying, Celine hesitates for a moment. I continue. If it's too much trouble, I could also just have you tutor me on weekends instead. Alright. Seeing her agree, joy instantly lights up my face. It's a deal. With Celine, this academic ace, helping me out, this next final is in the bag for sure. Just as I'm about to return to my studying, Celine suddenly breaks into a violent coughing fit. Only then do I notice she doesn't look well. From the force of the coughing, her face and neck have flushed a deep red. Celine. I reach out to feel her forehead, but she reflexively swats my hand away. No need. Another librarian comes rushing over anxiously. Celine, I told you to wait over there while I get your medicine. Why'd you wander off? Medicine? What's wrong with Celine? Celine, I told you to wait while I went to get your medicine. What are you wandering off for? Medicine. What's wrong with Celine? What else could it be? She's running a fever. That mother of Yasmin's is honestly vicious. Celine just got home a few hours late these past few days, and Mrs. Yi actually went and locked her outside all night, doing that several days in a row. Of course she ended up with a fever. Ruby! Celine's sudden sharp rebuke makes Ruby snap her mouth shut obediently. I freeze, realizing for the first time that this whole stretch where Celine's been helping me lose weight, she stayed late every time until 8 or 9 at night before going home. The Jiu and Yi houses are 2 kilometers apart, and every time she's insisted on walking back herself, refusing to let the Gu family's car take her. I never imagined Mrs. Yi could be this heartless, not even letting Celine through the front door. Lucas, oh Lucas, you really are an idiot. How did you not even consider something so obvious? I'm just telling it like it is. Why are you getting all worked up? Ruby hands the medicine over to Celine, her gaze flickering back and forth between the two of us, sensing that something's a bit off in the air between us. Let me go get you some water. You two take your time talking. With that, Ruby hurries off. Looking at Celine's pale face, worry fills mine. Mrs. Yi treats you like this and you never told me? This has nothing to do with you. How could it have nothing to do with me? If I hadn't kept you here to help me lose weight, you wouldn't have been kicked out of the house by your aunt. This was my own choice, and you're paying me for it. Either way, what happens to me is none of your business, and you don't need to worry about it. With that, she turns and walks off. Watching Celine's retreating figure, guilt floods through me. I'd thought that paying her money to help me lose weight would let me build a good relationship with her and improve her life at the same time. Right when I thought paying her would let me grow closer to her and help her life get better, I never imagined it would actually pile even more trouble onto her. In the evening, I return home alone, and my mother, who had set out 5 sets of bowls and chopsticks, looks at me, puzzled. Lucas, why is it just you alone? Where's Celine? She's sick. Sick? What happened? Did she wear herself out helping you practice? These past few days she's been helping tutor me and getting home really late. Mrs. Yi locked her out, so she's been running a fever. As I finish speaking, my father walks out from the living room. Mom, Dad, I want to ask a favor of you. Hearing this, my parents exchange a glance. As the sky darkens, Celine drags her exhausted body toward the gate of the Yi household, right when she runs into Yasmin and Mrs. Yi, sitting in the family car. Mrs. Yi has clearly just brought Yasmin back from the hospital, the cut from earlier that day still clearly visible on Yasmin's face. Mom, it was Celine who hit me. Mrs. Yi glares at Celine. You little, I raised you out of the goodness of my heart and you go and hit my daughter? How could you be so vicious? You're nothing but an ungrateful little snake. As she speaks, Mrs. Yi steps forward and pinches Celine's arm hard. You hit my daughter, and you still dare to show your face here? Come with me, we're going to the police station, this isn't over. Celine's brow furrows, and she yanks her arm away from Mrs. Yi, only to be met with a hard slap. How dare you even resist? Mrs. Yi's nails leave clear scratch marks down the side of Celine's face. At that exact moment, the glare of headlights sweeps over the 3 of them, and my parents along with me step out of the car. Right after, 2 more cars pull up beside us, and the Gu family's bodyguards and lawyers step out as well. Mrs. Yi has never seen anything like this and freezes for a moment, dumbfounded. Mr. Gu, Mrs. Gu, you... My mother rushes over to Celine, helping her up. Don't shout for me. Looking at the streaks of blood on Celine's face, my mother snaps angrily. Mrs. Yi, you've gone way too far. Mrs. Yi can't even fake a smile anymore. Mr. Gu, Mrs. Gu, this girl actually attacked Yasmin at school first. I was just so furious I disciplined her a little. My mother glares at Mrs. Yi. Just disciplined her a little, out of anger? And before that you locked Celine out of the house, leaving this child to freeze outside for an entire night. Was that disciplining her too? I don't think you're fit to keep raising Celine, so let us take over caring for her instead. What? What? Before Mrs. Yi can even react, the lawyer steps forward and hands a document directly to her. Mrs. Yi, your actions have already broken the law. If you don't want us to press charges, I'd strongly advise you to hand the child over to us without a fight. Mrs. Yi is stunned. Yasmin pipes up. Mom, if they want to take her, let them. It'll save the household a mouth to feed too. Mrs. Yi looks over the document, but unlike her daughter, she's not so reckless. If I hand this child over to you, what's in it for me? She is, after all, my husband's illegitimate child. I shouldn't have to just hand her over for nothing, right? Listening to Mrs. Yi's words, I can't help but let out a cold laugh. That's exactly how Mrs. Yi is, always squeezing out a little extra profit before anything else. Seeing my father about to speak and offer Mrs. Yi some benefit, I cut in. Mrs. Yi, you abused Celine. If word of this gets out among the social circles, it'll only bring trouble for both the Yi family and yourself, none of it good. We're actually doing you a favor here, and instead you're demanding something in return? There's nothing in it for you. We might as well go straight through the courts instead. If this ends up at the police station, given how you've acted, you might even be looking at jail time, and we'd still be able to adopt Celine either way. Hearing my words, the color drains slightly from Mrs. Yi's face. Mom, just sign it. I don't want to see her again anyway. Mrs. Yi is thinking along the same lines, but the thought of giving the girl away without getting anything in return leaves a bitter taste in her mouth. Seeing Mrs. Yi hesitate, I speak up. Mom, Dad, don't keep playing the nice ones here. We were trying to help her out of regard for past ties, but if she's not willing, then let's just go straight to the police station. No point wasting more time here. Seeing me actually turn and head toward the car, Mrs. Yi panics instantly. I'll sign it. She quickly snatches up the pen, not even bothering to read what's written on the document, and signs it right away. Watching from a short distance, I let a faint smile tug at the corner of my lips. Take her with us, but don't bother calling the police. My mother has no interest in dealing with Mrs. Yi any further. She helps Celine into the car. Seeing how badly Celine is burning up, and that she's just taken a hard slap from her aunt on top of it, she's now half-conscious. I'm filled with worry. Mom, Celine's fever is way too high. We need to take her to the hospital first. Right, the hospital. Lee, hurry, drive us to the hospital. Late into the night, inside the hospital room, my mother and father go ahead to handle the admission paperwork, while I keep watch beside Celine's bed. Her fever has already climbed to 39 degrees Celsius, and the slap she took earlier wasn't light at all. The left side of her face is swollen and red, with 3 clear scratch marks across it. After the doctor's basic treatment, half of her face finally looks somewhat better. In her drowsy haze, Celine suddenly grabs onto a hand with clearly defined knuckles. The hand feels cool and comforting, as if chasing away all the heat burning inside her. Suddenly, her eyes snap open and I jump, startled by her abrupt awakening. "You're awake?" Seeing Celine stay silent, I reach out and touch her forehead, finding it still burning hot. "You're running a high fever. You're at the hospital right now. My parents just went to handle your admission paperwork. Tomorrow morning we can head home." At the word home, Celine's eyes dim slightly. I continue. "Back to my home. You'll never have to go back to the Yi household ever again." At this, Celine freezes for a moment, clearly still foggy from the fever, her mind not fully conscious yet. Whatever happened earlier outside the Yi family's gate, she has no memory of it at all. Just then, my parents walk into the room, and seeing Celine awake, my mother steps forward and speaks gently. "Celine, rest well here at the hospital. Tomorrow morning your Uncle Gu and I will pick you up and bring you home. I've already arranged leave from school for you, so you can go back to class once you're feeling better." Celine's eyes redden. "Thank you, Aunt Gu. Don't worry about it, we're a family now." My mother gently strokes Celine's hair. "Mom, Dad, you two should go back ahead. I've got things covered here. I can head to school directly from here in the morning." My mother glances at me, then at Celine, still looking weak, and probably figuring it's not ideal to leave Celine alone in the room, she agrees. My father looks a little worried. "Should I call in a caregiver to keep you company?" "No need, Dad. It's just one night. Just remember to have Lee pick us up in the morning." Seeing how firm I am, my father can't talk me out of it, so he agrees as well. Once my parents leave, I gently reassure Celine, still lying in bed. "Get some rest. From now on you won't have to slave away at part-time work, or wonder if dinner will even be there waiting for you, and you'll never be thrown out of the house ever again. From today on, we're your family." Listening to my gentle voice, Celine presses her lips together. A peaceful night passes. The next morning my father has the driver come early to pick up Celine and bring her home. Since the city center hospital isn't far from Lincoln High School, I simply walk to school instead. As luck would have it, today Yasmin has the Yi family driver pick up Tyler along the way too, and the sight of the two of them walking hand in hand happens to land right in front of me. I'd planned to just ignore it, but Tyler speaks up first. "Lucas, why are you walking to school today?" Holding Yasmin's hand as if showing it off on purpose, Tyler, still holding her hand, acting like he's deliberately flaunting it, walks over right in front of me. "Lucas, I figure walking to